Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Code Karen. Welcome to r/relationships advice, where we have 2 incredible stories with comments and updates. If you're new to this channel, a sub would be great. Let's jump to the stories. Our first story is, my 27 female, boyfriend, 30 male, spent our anniversary with another girl because he was angry that my ex, 28 male, visited my parents. 2 weeks ago, it was my and Mark's anniversary. We've been dating for 2 years. We had plans after he finished work, but he never showed up. I tried to call and text him, but he ignored me all day and didn't contact me until after 1 a.m. He was drunk and went on a rant about how I deserved this because I shouldn't have invited Jason, my ex, to my parents' house. I was pretty mad at him and told him I thought we should break up. He ended by apologizing profusely and assuring me he would never do something like that again, and he was just feeling insecure. I decided to give him a second chance. To clarify about Jason, my ex, we had an amicable breakup 3 years ago because we didn't like having a long-distance relationship while he was away at med school. My dad had a heart attack a week before my anniversary with Mark, and Jason went to see him since his mom is friends with mine. Me and Mark turned up while he was there. Jason was discussing with my mom some of the treatment options the doctors had given my dad. He left a little while later. When he left, my mom made a comment about how helpful Jason was. Mark mentioned later that he didn't like that Jason was there or what my mom said about him, but I reassured him he was there as a family friend and not an ex. He seemed to be over it after that. Yesterday, Mark's friend, Penelope, mentioned how Mark had gone out with her and a group of her friends on our anniversary day. I'm furious because he told me he had spent the day at a bar alone getting drunk. Mark doesn't understand why I'm angry over this since I already forgave him for missing our anniversary. Would breaking up with him be an overreaction? Edit to add more info. My parents are nice to my boyfriend. They like him and have never mentioned Jason to him until this happened. They still talk to him, Jason, if they see him whenever he comes back for a visit. But as far as I know, they don't go out of their way to keep in contact with him anymore. I stopped talking to Jason 3 months into dating my boyfriend because Mark said he didn't like it. Jessica says, so what you're saying is that your father had a heart attack and instead of being concerned about you or your family, he threw a hissy fit about the fact that your ex helped them? Then he blew you off on purpose as retribution for someone helping your ailing father, then lied about the details of his blowing you off despite not understanding why the details that he lied about were important. Real Big Bob says, LOL, I love how he skipped your anniversary intentionally to make you angry, then got sad when you wanted to break up. This guy's a clown. Get rid of him. Count Cannabis says, from what I gathered based on your story, is that your boyfriend is insecure with your ex visiting your parents. And he is right to feel offended if your mom is rooting for you to get back with your ex. What your mom said was passive-aggressive to your boyfriend. But yeah, he is still wrong for ignoring you on your anniversary and to vent his frustration/anger by hanging out with others. And almost everyone here is telling you to break up with him. Try to patch things up with him if you're still in love with him, because 2 years of a relationship is not something you can just finish on a whim. But it's not going to be easy in the future since your parents seem to not like him so much. Because if they did, they would have consulted another doctor out of respect to your boyfriend. Update from OP. After I posted my original post, I asked Mark for some space to think and went to stay with my parents. He was upset, but said he would respect my decision. He did send me one text after I left, which said he was sorry, and he loved me. Jason's mom called me the day after to ask if she could give Jason my number. This was very random since he's always respected my decision not to stay in touch with him, so I figured it had to be something important. I gave her the go-ahead, and Jason called me later in the day. He sounded pretty irritated on the phone and asked me to tell my boyfriend to leave him alone. Mark had been harassing him on Facebook all day since I moved out. He sent him some nasty and threatening messages, and he also commented on every picture that included me on his profile. Mark's messages read like he was drunk, not that that is an excuse. Jason did block him, but Mark kept making new accounts. I was super embarrassed by his behavior and apologized to Jason and told him I'd talk to Mark. Mark denied it. He tried to say Jason faked the screenshots he sent me to make him look bad. When I told him I didn't believe him, he got angry and tried to twist it back onto me again. He asked me why Jason even had my number, why we were even talking to each other, and he accused me of letting him ruin our relationship. He also made a comment about how I should just go back to Jason if that's what I wanted. I think my relationship is dead. I wanted to try to address his jealousy and how he handles it to see if we could work things out, but he just isn't willing/able to talk about it without getting defensive. The last conversation I had with Jason was when he sent me a screenshot of Mark apologizing to him, but this just feels performative now. I don't really know what I'll do now, but I'll post a final update when I've made my decision. Steak Not Cake says, I had to double check your ages after reading the update. Your, I hope, ex-boyfriend is super immature. First, he ignored you and went out with another woman on your anniversary instead of talking to you and figuring out why your ex was at your parents' house. Then he starts harassing someone when things don't go his way. He's showing you how he reacts to conflicts. Imagine being married to this man or having kids with him. The Scarlet Witch says, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Mark is a man-child with no comprehension of how to behave as a decent human being. He's breaking some exceedingly simple rules. 1. You do not harass the friendly ex of your current girlfriend. 2. You do not make your girlfriend's time of loss, especially of a parent, about you. Cut your losses with Mark. See a counselor to deal with grief and this compounded trauma of a bad breakup at a key time. Make sure you let your friends and loved ones know what you need too. They're sure to be ready to help you, but they may need an idea of how. Whether that's coming over with prepared meals or helping you focus on something else, you'll be better off surrounded by those who care about you. I'd also call Jason if you feel okay with that, and tell him how much his visit to your father meant. When you're in a clearer place, maybe consider if that long-distance relationship is something worth picking up again. Internet strangers have commented on how mature, compassionate, and kind Jason appears to be, and those men aren't a dime a dozen. Cotton Rainbows says, it's okay for people to be jealous. That's natural. Fine. Okay. Move on. But WTF is this toxic behavior? If he treats others like that, there's no reason he can't treat your family, relatives, you, whomever like that when you don't even realize. I'm sorry, but I would break it off if it were me personally. In the end, it's up to you. But he clearly has trust issues already, has already lied, etc., etc. He went out of his way to harm someone who was helping your dad. I don't know how you can be mad at someone who's helping a family member of someone you love. That's just me. Anywho, red flags. Shame on Me Too says, unfortunately, you are right. This relationship is dead. Mark killed it stone dead when he started harassing Jason on Facebook. You've already left your place and you're back with your parents, so that is a great first step. Be careful separating yourself with him. He sounds like he is not thinking rationally right now. I would highly suggest you are not alone with him again anytime soon. Good luck, and another update when you are truly free and clear would be great. Our second story is, my, male 24, long-term girlfriend, female 22, cheated on me, got pregnant, but everyone around me keeps pressuring me to stay with her. So, we grew up together in a small town, knew each other for our whole lives, and eventually fell in love when she was 17, and we moved to the city together 2 years ago. I work as a carpenter, and she's still at the university. 2 weeks ago, she suddenly dropped the news that she's 3 weeks pregnant. I know for sure it cannot be mine because I always use protection and never have sex under alcohol/drug influence. I don't drink or smoke. So I pressured her, and she confessed that she slept with an exchange student during a school vacation trip. She said he's been hitting on her for weeks, but the sex was unplanned. That's why he didn't have condom prepared and she didn't have pills ready. And it's only a one-time thing, and she had no feelings for the guy anymore. I was totally in shock, but after a day, I decided that I can't stay in this relationship anymore. First, I am not ready to raise a child that is not my own. Second, I don't know if I'm able to forgive her for betraying me, at least not at the moment. So I broke it off, asked my boss if I can stay at the workers' rooms for temporary workers at the warehouse, and let my girlfriend stay at our place till she finds a house. I pay the full rent because only I work. So eventually our families and our mutual friends got the news, and now they are all pressuring me to get back with my girlfriend, except for my sister who supports me. They say it's wrong to abandon her at a time like this, especially my dad, who I fight with every 2 days because of this. He said he knows she's a good girl, just a young person's mistake, that I should stay with her and give the child up for adoption. And my friends keep messaging me, convincing me to take her back. One of them even accuses me because I am the reason she moved to the city, so it's my responsibility. Now I am heartbroken, lonely, and shattered. It feels like the whole world doesn't care about how I feel. I just want to move to a new city and start everything from zero, but I don't have the courage. Maybe some advice from you guys would ease the stress. A little update. I didn't think my story would get this much reaction. Thank you to all you guys for caring and giving me advice. I tried to read all the comments that I could. I thought I could get through this alone, but you guys make me realize that I am not alone. So I just called my little sister, and she will be on the train to the city tomorrow morning to stay with me for the weekend. I also called my parents and her parents, and they agreed to come to see us this weekend to discuss this matter. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I hope I can update my situation in the next few days. 0% Wrong says, of course everyone is pressuring you to stay. Someone has to pay for her and the baby to live while she goes to school. Save yourself more headache and leave now. That Brown Boy 30 says, your friends are being ridiculous. Listen to me. It doesn't matter if it was a one-time thing. This girl cheated on you, and then was hoping you wouldn't realize that you couldn't have gotten her pregnant. She was gonna pretend like you were the father. She cheated and lied, and was gonna let you raise a child that isn't yours without you knowing. She only told you because you pushed. Kick her out of your apartment and tell her to go live with her baby daddy. You owe her nothing. And no, she clearly isn't a nice person. Sad Eukaryotic Cell says, she violated your trust first. She deserved it. You have no obligation to care for a baby that's not yours. What I don't understand is why everyone cares so much about your girlfriend when she is the one who cheated on you. Go back to her only if you're 100% sure you can love her and the child unconditionally, which seems pretty impossible to me now. Update from OP. Sorry for not updating sooner. The initial plan was for our parents to come to see us, but they called last minute saying they can't come because of their jobs, so we had to take the train back to our hometown last Tuesday. So because they didn't follow the plan, my sister and I had the whole weekend talking about my decision. Mostly, she asked questions and I answered with my true feelings, and in the end, it's unchanged how I feel. So I went to the meeting with everyone on Tuesday. I told my sister she shouldn't come, and that was the first time I met my ex-girlfriend since the incident. I blocked all my social media and told her not to contact me. I told my parents right from the start that I've made a decision and I am just here to discuss how to handle things. First, a lot of you guys said I should take a paternity test. I proposed the idea, but after a few minutes of discussion, she said she doesn't want to do it. I'm still sure that I'm not the father, so it's her choice really. Second, about the real father. My ex-girlfriend said she contacted the guy and he was as shocked and panicked as we were. He will return to his homeland in October, so we didn't have a clue how to handle everything either. And we agreed we won't involve the guy anymore, as we want nothing to do with him. Third, about the child. She and her parents decided to go for an abortion. They said because the pregnancy is only a few weeks old, so she won't have surgery and can do a home abortion? ? They explained a lot, but I don't have much knowledge on this. I think that's the main reason they didn't want a paternity test, because they didn't want to wait. I'm okay with that. That leaves us to the final decision. I wanted to break up. I expected everyone to jump at me, but it surprised me that they didn't. My ex-girlfriend just sat there biting her lips with her head down. I think she already knew what I'd say. In all our years together, I've always been the one who made my opinion heard, and she's the silent type. Her parents were totally silent. My dad sat there with his arms crossed, and my mother tried to ask something every once in a while. So it was just me in a monologue the whole time. So that's it. We broke up, but I still wanted to remain friends. I still care about her, and you can't just completely erase 20 years of your life. We went back to the city together, and it's just 1.5 hours of us talking about all the good memories we had since we were children. That's the first time I felt peace in weeks, to be honest. We spent the last few days packing up her stuff. She will stay in the city with me till next week for a doctor's appointment and then go back to our hometown for a while. Thank you guys for making me feel I am not alone in this. Many of you made supportive comments and inboxes to me. I think I will have a fresh start. Maybe the university is a good choice, as my sister is also going to the university next year. Here for You Beer says, congratulations on sticking to your plan and not being pressured into doing something that you don't feel is right for your life. The at-home abortion part is scary, but I would be way out of my league to discuss that. GuardDog 2020 says, not surprised she and her parents had little to say. She was clearly in the wrong and in a major way. She did one of the worst things possible in a relationship. There was no way around it and no denying it. Snoopard says, I really hope things will get easier for you going forward. Make friends and start a new life. Put this behind you and move on. Being friends with an ex is walking on a thin line, so be very careful about it. I would say, keep that friendship to a minimum. Good luck!